Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Mailbox Power Mastermind. It's always good to see you online, and we appreciate that you do tune into these calls. As always, we like to start every call with wins that you've had this week. So we'll start there, and then we'll just kind of proceed into the call. Anybody have any wins this week?
Kimberly.
I have a member who's had Mailbox Power for a long time and hasn't sent anything out, and she contacted me, and we got things rolling finally.
Yay.
I'm so thrilled.
Awesome.
Well, you just never know when it's going to be the right time for someone. So it's always good to just stay in touch and just keep dripping on them and keep loving on them, and just hopefully they see the value of what we're doing, and they come around after a while. So that's a great win and a great story, Kimberly. Lulu.
So those cards that I send out, I'm still getting reply from them, and I signed up a pro account last week from those cards, and just keeping in touch. So yeah.
Nice.
Yep. And I've been helping my regular people, because remember, I tweaked it for who I was sending it to, and just continuing to help people get their holiday cards sent out and scheduled. So keeping in touch is key.
It sure is.
And I think that just goes to show you, Lulu, that sometimes it's about the messaging that you put on the cards. It's not just about the cards, but it's about having the right message for the right people. So you just kind of have to play with that, keep tweaking the message, and hopefully things will turn around, and you do start getting some action taken on the cards that you do send out. But a great card. I've seen the card. You shared it online, I believe, and
Yeah,
it's a great card to use to get people interested in Mailbox Power.
thank you.
I like the front, just checking in. Like it's not salesy. It's just I'm checking in on you, and
Yeah.
so
and if you need help, I'm here. Let's get something done. Let's be proactive. And people, I don't know, just really, out of all the cards like that I've sent, that little group has reaped the most reward.
awesome.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Nanette.
Good morning, everybody. I have been going to a nice networking event on a regular basis. And last week, just during introductions, the 30-second, I mentioned it was time to love on your employees as well as your customers. And I got an appointment from that. So more to follow.
Yay. Awesome. Congrats.
Thanks.
I think oftentimes businesses don't really understand that valuing your employees really makes you look good to the public and to your customers. So it's good to always mention to businesses that they not need to just value their customers, but they need to value the employee, because they're the face of the company, whether they like it or not. That's the first person that most people come into contact with when they come visit the company or the business. So it is important to make sure that they're happy and feel valued in their employment.
Absolutely.
I think that's true. And I like what Lulu's doing with her chamber, because she could have her chamber, or that chamber members could be reaching out to their employees just like they're reaching out to their customers. And I'm trying to follow her lead and market to my chamber and a bunch of chambers in the state of Wisconsin. So you're absolutely right, Mike.
Yeah.
It's so expensive these days to hire and train new employees. So anything you can do to build employee loyalty as well as customer loyalty, you're miles ahead.
Yep. So we had a presenter last week at my BNI. They talked about Net Promoter Score and CSI scores, Customer Service Index. Sorry, guys. And I think you'll be surprised at the numbers. At least I was. And it has a lot to do with what Nanette just talked about in your employees. Because if your employees are happy, they're communicating well with your customers. So examples of companies effectively using their Net Promoter Score. Tesla. So out of 100, it's a Net Promoter Score of 0 to 100. Or it can be minus 100 to 100. So 0 is neutral. So anything above 0 is doing well. But obviously, as you get closer to 100, you're doing really well. Well, Tesla has a 97 score.
Wow.
But one of our favorite products, Apple, only has a 47 Net Promoter Score. And another one that really surprised me is Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut has a 78 Net Promoter Score. So Pizza Hut has a higher score than Apple. And I'm betting that has a lot to do with customer service, because I know we love our Apple products, but I've been frustrated with their customer support and getting help with different things. And I'm betting that's what's put their score lower than some of those other companies, even though they're an amazing product. So thank you for bringing that up, Nanette, and reminding everybody that it's not just about the customers. It's about those business owners loving on their employees. So thank you for reminding us. Anyone else?
Okay.
I actually had a few people reach out to me. I think I've had 3 people that were past customers of mine or ours reach out to me in about the last, I would say, week, and said, is it too late to do holiday cards? Are you the one that I should be reaching out to do Mailbox Power? I'm like, yes. I was like, is that really a question? Or is that a comment? So I have appointments with, or I'm communicating with 3 different people about holiday cards now, and they are all past clients. One actually reactivated the other day. She reached out to me and I didn't get a text from corporate, so I didn't know, but she asked if I could help her with her holiday cards, and it's a past client, and she reactivated as an executive. Yeah, so it's not too late. Somebody else messaged us this morning on our website. Is it too late? I hope it's not too late to send out holiday cards and gifts. And my answer is always nope, because we ship the very next business day. So we still have several weeks before the deadline for the post office to make sure it gets there in time. But my experience with Mailbox Power is even if you send it out as late as, we'll say, the 12th to the 15th, usually the package is, if it's a package, it'll arrive. If it's a card, it might not, because it's gotten super busy with the post office. So keep that in mind and make sure you're reaching out to all of those past clients and asking them how you can help them. The other thing, I think I mentioned it last week, I had somebody reach out that has been a client of another service, which many of you know, and asked me to price compare 250 cards on our platform versus theirs. It's $397 plus stamps on theirs it's $233 plus stamps on ours. So effectively, I'm going to save that person $164, which is a big deal, especially this time of year. But in this economy, that's a big deal. We are not trying to be the low cost provider by any means whatsoever. But this time of year, if you compare our prices to others, I think people would be super surprised. Many people say to me, and I'm sure you've heard the same thing, oh, but it's too expensive to send cards and gifts, or I can't afford that, because they assume that because we do it all for them, that is extremely expensive. And then once they see the price, they're like, oh. So when you're out networking, make sure you talk about the value, and that you can even just say, most people are super surprised how affordable our service is. I would love to just sit down and have a one-on-one. It might not be for you, but you have a lot of people in your network that this might be for. And then you might get more one-on-ones or more of those meetings with the other members in your networking groups. Anything else? Anybody else had any wins? I'm going to let Mike talk for a minute because my throat's getting really scratchy and I don't want to cough.
No other wins this week, huh?
I have a couple other things cooking, but I can't say yet. I don't want to jinx it.
Well, jinx it.
No.
So who's cooking Thanksgiving dinner?
Not me.
We are.
I think one of my wins is just to be connected with this community and my Mailbox Power family. I mean, it's times like this and just having this conversation right before the end of the year that's got me thinking and creating and just happy to be connected with all of you.
Absolutely.
You know, I think that's one thing that most people really want is a sense of belonging to something, a community to belong to. And I think this is a great way to be able to accomplish that. I mean, we all do things a little differently, and some of those things create business for you. So it's a great way to be able to share what's been successful, what hasn't been successful, what we can do to improve our communication, our messaging, and our copy in the cards. So it's always good to see you on these calls, and we do appreciate your input. You know, it's not always we facilitate the calls, but we hope that we don't take the majority of the time, because it is important for all of you to share with us as well, because we can learn from you, because you're just doing things differently than probably we are, and that we can learn from you. Again, like Lulu sharing that card that she uses, and she's having success with it. I mean, that's awesome that we can do that in this group. So that's what we try to do.
Well,
with the new year around the corner, we've talked about this not recently, but a month or maybe 2 months ago. What are your goals? What are your plans for the new year? And this time of year, are you talking to businesses about their plans for next year? And I can't remember if it was on this call or it was on some other call I was on. Sorry. Automate to accelerate your business in 2024. So are you talking to businesses? Now is the time they're preparing their budgets for next year. Some of them, you're already too late. They planned it in October, November for January. But there are some businesses that are still working on that budget and figuring out what they are going to spend on marketing in that next year. And if you can meet with them now, you have an opportunity to be part of their marketing budget for next year and to better improve their client communications and their outreach. Because of course we can do the custom mailing lists. So most people, when I sit down with them, I don't go over everything we do. There's way too much. But as I meet with them over time, they learn more and more of what we do. And that's usually when they're like, oh my God, so and so needs to know about you. So don't vomit on them. But obviously in your commercials out networking or in your personal communications with people, your meetings, make sure that each time you're sharing something a little newer. Something else that we offer. Because I truly believe that I don't even know that I know everything the system offers, to be honest with you, because we have so much and they keep adding more, that I'm always talking about the things that I see the most value in, but there's lots out there. Like when I talk about the newsletters, people are like, what? You can do that too? And now the booklets, the pamphlets. So,
we really do have a lot to offer in Mailbox Power. I think sometimes we get so caught up in presenting, the system to customers and to prospects that we don't take the time to listen to what they actually need. My career has been as a criminal investigator. So in order to get the results that I want, I have to be able to ask questions during interviews and listen and get the answers that I'm trying to get out of people. And really the only thing I'm looking for is the truth. And so if you approach your business the same way, you talk to people and you find out what their pain points are, what they're struggling with, what their major challenges are, and just listen to what they're telling you and see whether or not your product is a right fit for them. It's not always going to be a right fit, but if you can help them solve the problem or a pain point, whether it's through you or someone else, you're actually providing a service. And that's really what we ought to be doing is providing a service that helps people solve problems and helps them in their business. So again, a lot of times we get too caught up in trying to make a sale instead of trying to solve a problem. So if you're trying to solve problems in your business or trying to solve someone else's problems in their business, it's the right approach, I think, because it is about service. It's not about sales.
Definitely. Agree 100% with that.
Thank you. Suzanne.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving almost. Question, when you were talking, Michael, about, the questions that you ask people and so forth, once upon a time, and it's probably been, I don't know how long ago, the two of you, I think, came up with some kind of a list of questions to ask people. Do you still have something like that? Or is there something like that available that we would know, other than, how many people, what's your budget, or whatever, who do you want to reach? How do you want to reach? I mean, is there a list? Is there something we could compile that would be, a good Because sometimes when you sit down to talk to someone, you forget to ask them certain things. It'd be nice to have kind of questions in front of you.
You know, if we have something like that somewhere, I'd have to look for it and try to dig it up. But I think we did put something like that together. You know, there's a great book out there by what's his name, Brian Tracy, Swimming with Sharks Without Getting Eaten Alive. And he's put together like a 66 or 100 and I don't know, it's a great big huge list of questions that you can ask people and get to know them and get to know their business. So that, you know, there's a list there, but we'll see what we came up with and see if we can provide that in the group.
Great.
If you're also looking, you know, just Google. All you gotta do is Google open-ended business question, because what you want to do, people have a tendency to do close-end questions. How many employees you have, you know, that can be answered in one deal. But what you want to do is place your questions as an open-ended questions. You know, like what are your pain points right now? Why are you meeting? You know, if you want to go to a close-in, are you meeting your sales goals or what have you? Well, then why is always a big question. You know, why aren't you hitting your sales goals? What are you doing? What are your marketing tactics? That type of thing. But as you Google things, it'll, you know, there's probably 10, 20 questions. It's just like an elevator speech. You want to have that, you pretty much want to have that memorized, you know, for that.
Great idea, Mike, because you just reminded me, we now have AI that, you know, answers all kinds of great questions. And I think I will go take advantage of that. Thank you.
Yeah, I forgot about, you know, I forgot we could do it for AI, but questions or what have you, and it'll search every inch of the internet for you, which is great. So one of the things I wanted to talk to a little bit about is, you know, I'd like to, if we're looking, I think one of the most powerful tools we have is our birthday program. And I'm wondering what, you know, for instance, I'm going to start following up. You know, you have on your birthday list, you have that little side in your homepage that tells you who you sent a birthday card out to. I'm just going to follow up and just have, you know, hey, I just wanted to touch base with you, wish you a happy birthday, how are things going? That type of thing. Instead of just sending out the card, you have another touch of doing that. But I'm just wondering what other people's opinions are on the power of the birthday program for other businesses.
I actually think, Mike, it is very powerful. The challenge is most businesses that I run into don't understand the power of it because they're all about gaining new clients and not retaining their current. So as Mike has said, when we were in a different company, we came over here and we had all the marketing tools. We didn't get it at first. And then Mike finally realized that, you know, we have to meet them where they are. And that's that they want to market. And those, once you get somebody that's willing to do nurturing campaigns to their clients, then absolutely birthday is one of the very first ones you should talk about at a minimum. And then the next step I would say is a quarterly. I was talking to a coach a couple of weeks ago and she made a really good point. And that was that many of us go into a business that's doing nothing. And we're like, yeah, you should do a birthday and you should do a monthly holiday and you should do this and you should do that. And it's overwhelming to them. They're doing absolutely nothing right now. You need to baby step into it. And I realized after I had been talking to her that I tend to do that sometimes because I know where in the end they should be in order to have a successful business. And maybe we need to back down some and just talk about birthday or thank you. Like, start just sending a thank you card and a gift to your clients. Once they
Well, we
start doing the thank you, then
well, they got there's a beautiful automation in there where you send out, it's a 3-step automation. You send out a card saying thank you for the order or whatever it might be. The second card is a fun card that talks about brownie, you send out a brownie with it, whatever it is. And the third one is a card that's asking for referrals. That's in the store. And so that's worked out well for me. But I don't want to I got people that are always buying stuff from me time and time again. So I don't do that all the time, and I can't straight up, I automate it, but it's just sits by itself. Because I queue it up maybe once or twice a year, whatever it might be, for what they have. But the birthday, I think that if you want to use the AI, the other thing too is that when you send out thank you cards and what have you, you should have a little PS about referrals, asking somebody for referrals. Again, go to AI and figure out how you want to phrase asking for referrals. Oh, by the way, I'm always open to referrals, from you or what have you, because if you don't remind people about referrals, get out of sight, out of mind type thing. So that little PS can be a big help for anything.
I agree, Mike. I prefer to do it in a separate card because I feel like if I do it in a thank you card, they're just looking at it as a marketing piece and I'm just looking for referrals from them. And I truly just want to be thankful for their business. And then a follow-up card can be, or a follow-up postcard can be, I'm always looking for referrals. If I've done a great job for you, who do you know that could use this service also? Or who do you know that could use my insurance, whatever business you're promoting, whether it be Mailbox Power or something else? Because I think a true thank you without any other motive is what gets you more referrals. I have always believed in earn them. That if you earn them, more will come versus always asking. I agree 100%. You have to ask occasionally.
Yeah. Well, it's all about A/B testing. I had the opposite where it's worked well because I have a specific funny asking for referrals instead of just coming right out say, hey, do you know anybody? Again, go into copy AI or chat and put in there, I want a funny saying about asking for referrals, a PS asking for, and you'll get about asked for 10 of them, and they'll give you 10 of them. But I mean, even if you want to send out a postcard after that or whatever you might be after the thank you, and set up an automation where you have a thank you and then it comes and then a referral comes right after that.
Exactly.
But the thing is that you got to do it, because if you don't do it, that's the beauty of automation, is it keeps you from forgetting to do it.
Exactly.
And the other thing too, Mike, I don't know if you've ever heard of Joe Girard.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's probably proven that using greeting cards to build your business is an awesome way to do that. But we get stuck sometimes in that old mentality where it's about relationship marketing. But really what it is businesses want to be able to bring people in the door, and you can't have a relationship with someone you don't know or someone you're not doing business with. So really it is about bringing that business in, then building that relationship with them. And then once you build that relationship with them, asking them for the referrals. That's what Joe Girard did. He always felt that he should always contact his customers for a couple of things, to see how the car that he sold them was working, if they had problems with it, if they were experiencing problems, he solved the problems that they were experiencing, and if they were happy with the car, he asked for a referral. So it is important to ask for those referrals, because if we don't ask, I agree with you, Mike, if we don't ask, we don't get.
Well, and that's one of the nice things about following up with a phone call with a birthday card,
Mhm.
you know, and just checking in, see how you doing, happy birthday, and then you just start a conversation, and it might, wherever it leads, but at least you're talking to a warm
Yep.
contact there.
Right.
Yep.
That's the whole pearls. I'm sorry, it's about 10:30, but I thought maybe.
Yeah.
No, we appreciate it.
No
Mike.
worries. And hey, Brian, I loved your comment in the chat. And thanks, Kimberly, for the questions. But what did the turkey say to the computer? Google, Google, Google instead of gobble, gobble, gobble. That is so cool. I like that. So with that, we are at the bottom of the hour. I hope you all have a fabulous week with your family and friends or whoever you are going to spend this Thanksgiving with. If you don't have somebody to spend Thanksgiving with, reach out. I know Nanette is by herself, but she has a neighbor or something that she always gets together with. But we should be in community together at Thanksgiving. So reach out to somebody, reach out to us if you've got nobody. At least let's have a chat, and I hope you all have an awesome week. We'll see you next Monday.
Happy
Happy
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Happy
Thankful
Thanksgiving.
for all of you.
Yes, very thankful.
Thankful for
Brenda.
you too.
Thanks, Mike.
Get well, Brenda and Michael.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I heard several people came home with something after after Las
Yep.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take care.
All right,
Yep.
you too. Bye-bye.